can you trust YouTubers on gear reviews and gear videos? And like, where does that trust lie? So that was just like a huge topic that kind of came to my mind as someone who I kind of do a little bit of both. Like, I mean, I feel like we're very honest here on the Uncensored show, because we'll praise a brand for one thing 1 second and then get on to them about another thing at another place. But I just really was like open to that question. And I know you don't make like gear videos. We talk about them here on the podcast.
Yeah.
But like, how do you feel like when it comes to like gear videos on YouTube and getting your information?
Yeah, no. So it's really been funny. Like, to me, I've got a set of websites that I go to almost every day. I will go to F-Stoppers. I'll go to No Film School. I will go to Canon Rumors. I'll go to Sony Alpha Rumors. And I will visit those websites just to kind of keep a pulse on what's going on. I feel like, especially nowadays, things are coming out all the time. And so it's just kind of nice to get a good pulse. But the interesting part is when I'm on YouTube, I'm a little weary of YouTube. And I'm wary of YouTube, not because that everybody on YouTube, puts out stuff, but I feel like sometimes there is this bias that happens on YouTube when it comes to gear.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, like, companies are paying YouTubers or paying them or giving them the gear to say good things about the products. And not knocking that, that's a cool thing. But I feel like whenever I want to know the stuff about the camera that would prevent me from buying it, YouTube isn't always the best place.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. And like, I mean, obviously, like, I'm a creator too. And I've been literally on both sides of the aisle there. I think for me, even I like find myself like, cause like there's like gear that I'm excited about, but I do know that even myself, like if there's like a piece of gear or like a lens, typically it's lenses, cause lenses is one of those things where it's hard, like specs don't help you with lenses. You just need to like see what was made. 9 times out of 10, when it comes to like things like lenses, I'm just looking at the images, but I also have to trust that the person who's using the gear knows what they're doing. Because I can be like, I think I've gone on record of saying this before, but like when the Komodo first came out, the OG Komodo first came out, I was really excited about it until I went to YouTube and I saw a lot of people shooting with red for the first time. And they did not make that camera look good. Yeah. They made it look terrible. And it wasn't until my friend now, at the time I did not know him, but Joey Helms posted his videos and I saw his images. I was like, oh, you actually can get a good image out of this camera. And then you do more research on the other people who released videos on the KX and you realize, the Komodo, not KX, the original Komodo. You realize, they've never actually used a red before. They don't know the tally light system. They don't know how to actually work this camera. And they don't know that like a cinema camera like this, especially with a global shutter, needs a lot of light. So like you learn these things. And so I believe that like, there is a double layer to this where it's a matter of, can you trust them because you feel like either they were sponsored or the gear was given to them or they feel, compelled to make a good review about a product
in hopes that they
maybe get another deal. But then I think there's a second layer of that as well, where it's like, does this creator actually know how to use this piece of gear and show it off in its right way? And like that for me is like, when I see lens tests, it's like, okay, I need to make sure that somebody I trust is using this lens properly, because is this this lens is soft, or do you just not know how to full focus manually?
Or are you running it at its lowest aperture? Yeah, there's just so many different things because we all like inherently we know. Like some lenses are sharp down to lower apertures, but most of them have a sweet spot.
Yes.
So I mean, it is hard to know if you don't really know the proficiencies or capabilities of those creators. No, 100%.
Yeah, let's go into the chat because I really want to know what the chat has to say, and I think there's a lot of value in the chat right now around this topic, because as somebody who wants to make the best videos on YouTube, I always want to just get this feedback and make sure that we are offering the best videos possible. So what do we got?
Yeah, too many sponsor reviews on YouTube's to trust. Now, I feel like I like you've reviewed stuff before, you know, like say you've been on both sides of the thing. I feel like you really have to find someone that you can trust to be able to say the right thing. I don't feel like YouTube as a whole, and I don't think that, you know, brands using YouTubers to review stuff is bad. But like say, like we were saying this with like Peter McKinnon,
Yes.
like it's like I know that you're an ambassador. I know you're not going to say anything bad about it. So for you, like you are a content creator and I admire his work. So I am going to get the flash,
Yes,
or the wow from him, and then I'm going to do my research to find the overheating from someone else.
I feel like if you have if there's a YouTuber that you do trust, there has to be a way to calibrate yourself off of that YouTuber.
Yeah.
Like with Peter, one, I know whatever Canon camera that comes out, he'll be first, which is always helpful. But also, like, that kind of worked against me in the R1 because I thought he had. But then two, it's like I can calibrate. I know that he's an ambassador. I know he's going to say, so like if I want to see the best that this camera can offer, I know I can go to Peter and get the best that it can offer. And he's a skilled filmmaker.
Oh, yeah.
So I know that he's going to give me good images out of it. And I'm not going to have to worry about that. But at the same time, I do believe that you have to be able to calibrate. And so that's just kind of the thing I want to look at. What did he says?
Camera news, mostly YouTube, and another YouTuber from Brandon, Jared Poland.
Yeah.
Frono's Photo.
Yep. Frono's Photo.
Dude, man, he has been rocking that fro.
For a long time.
For a long time.
Do you think he can shave it? Sorry, that's off topic.
Intrusive thought.
Intrusive thought just popped up. I'm just like, yo, what if he has to shave
And
it?
the answer is no.
No.
He can't. Yeah, CVP. Dude,
they're one of my favorites.
They're solid.
They're one of my
So
favorites.
solid.
If you guys haven't checked out CVP, they like their video right now on the Raptor X has been in my like watch later for like the last 2 days because I want to. It's school. I feel like when I watch CVP videos, I'm going to school.
Educational.
So I'm like, I want to be able to make sure I can sit down and like give it my undivided attention.
This is another not really hot on YouTube.
That's all right.
Press releases. It's hard to trust. Oh man, that just came up. It's hard to trust the desire for YouTuber content creators to pander to manufacturers. There is some pandering that happens.
Yeah,
for sure. I don't trust 99% of what YouTubers for gear reviews. I watch YouTube gear channels such as this one for entertainment. Dude, that's dope.
that is dope.
We're glad that you watch.
I'm glad you enjoy the entertainment because 9 times out of 10, I'm not even really reviewing the cameras. I'm just like, hey, I got this camera. Let me show you what I did with it. And that's pretty much all I'm going to give you.
Dude, it sounds like there's a pretty consistent theme. YouTube for entertainment about cameras. Your live streams are the best for me to try. Always to be in live.
Oh. Well, dude, we appreciate it when you do show up live.
Yes.
Get a chance to be part of the conversation. At least that's what we try to do. We try to let people be a part of the conversation. But yeah, no, I feel like I'm glad we had this conversation. I mean, like this is the Uncensored show. And so I want that feedback and I think we should have that feedback. And I also want this like capsulated for other creators to take a look at because I think as creators on this platform, we owe it to the people who watch us or who come to us for advice on what to buy or whatnot to give them either honest opinions, or as we call it, uncensored opinions. Play on word there. If you know, you know. But to give uncensored opinions where we can be truthful if we are recommending that someone buy what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing that and you're just making educational, like just like behind the scenes, kind of like the stuff that we do, where we just kind of like take you on the journey. Here's what we're doing. Here's what we're using. Here's how we used it. Then be very clear that that's what the content is. And that's why, like, on my channel, for example, I've never done, like, a paid for review. Like, no one has, like, you can't even pay me for a review.
Yeah.
You can pay, like, a sponsored product announcement video or, like, a highlight video or something where I'm just showing the features. But I also try to be very clear in those videos that that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
I think it's important that, like, people have that gauge. And so I just wanted to take a moment because I thought that was a really interesting question for Sony to ask. And it like triggered something in my brain. I was like, yeah, I wonder where do people kind of draw the line when it comes to like listening to YouTubers and getting that feedback? Because we all know when Sony does drop.
Because there's 15,000 people. Chat, look me in the face. I will never lead you astray. Always by Canon.